Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be working on finishing up the air conditioning for the 65 Mustang because the thermostat switch, which I have a new one right here from CJ Pony Parts. The original one that was in the box that was rebuilt was no good. So I just got to install this one, take the capillary tube, run it into the condenser, and then I'll just bolt it in, check and make sure that it works, and then I can finish charging the air conditioning unit, start the car, let it cycle through, make sure it's blowing cold air, and then also we'll take her for a test drive today, make sure it's shifting out a second, and then adjust the carburetor and the timing on the car, and then also adjust the thermostat or the electric fans for the car. There is a little box up there where you can adjust the temperature when it comes on. So I gotta adjust that because I think the customer said it might have started to overheat on them. So we'll do that, and that's really pretty much it. Besides, I do have to finish up. If you watched my last video on the seat belts for the Mustang, I do have to finish up making a little bracket for the top of the seatbelt right here, because this one is too short just because of this new interior piece. It's got a lot of material from the upholstery shop, so it doesn't want to turn. So I got to make a new bracket that's similar to this one and then rivet it on, and that'll be good to go. And then reinstall the back seat, and I think that might be it for the car. And then this one will be able to get shipped off and delivered to the customer. Well, we're charging the air conditioning right now, so hopefully it starts blowing cold. It's starting to cool down a little bit, but it's still taking a little bit of time. And then, yeah, it was fun putting that thermostat switch in there with that orifice tube that you got to bend around and make sure you don't break it. Alright, so I got the air conditioning done on the Mustang. Now the only problem is the transmission lines are leaking. So I got down there yesterday, tightened them up. They're still leaking. The fitting for the back is actually cross-threaded, so no matter what, it'll still leak. So I went and ordered another fitting. That should be here within a couple of days from the parts store. And in the meantime, the main thing I gotta finish up on this thing is just really this kick panel right here, because it sits too far out up here, which I have to trim this off. But see how it sits far away from the dash? It's supposed to slide all the way in. That way it's kind of flush with this and with this seam right here. And then these things, I do have to trim them down, unfortunately. Oh look, that one already broke. Just because of that reason right there. These things just break because of the stupid Lamborghini doors. So, as you can see, I gotta order another one already. Yeah. So that's the problem with running the Lamborghini doors. It just kind of snaps those things off, so that sucks. Alright, so I pulled the kick panel off because it wasn't fitting. So what I had to do is put this little notch right there, because where the high and low beam switch is, the plug was making it so it wouldn't slide all the way in. Plus there's quite a bit of sound deadener and padding in this car, right down there. So it just makes it hard for it to slide all the way in. So I cut a notch in it, already checked the fitment, and it fits way better. It slides in there like it's supposed to, and it fits all the way against that pinch weld. So I'm just gonna put that on, and then the, let's see, where's the door jamb switch? Actually, I think what happened is it just blew apart because of the way those Lamborghini doors close. What happened is I think it pushed it to one side and it just popped it out of the little tabs that hold it together, because there's two tabs on each side that hold the little metal bracket on there. So just pop that off. So it should be good to go, but I do have to trim, I think, them down a little bit at the front, and then kind of fill it with some plastic, and then kind of shape it so it looks somewhat the way it came from the parts store. So I'm going to throw this on there, and then I do have to fix the speaker back here, it just came disconnected from the speaker, the wiring did, so I had to fix that. And I did get the seat belts all the way done, so those are finished. And the plates that I have actually worked, but barely. I had to really push it together just because there was all that material, and it finally locked in and on the threads, and then I could tighten it up. So it's got to drill the plates and put some rivets in, and it'll hold it all together. And then pretty much everything's done besides, like I said earlier, fixing the tranny line leak, and I'm just waiting on that part. So that'll be done, and then we'll finally get to take a test drive in the 65. So I'm gonna throw this piece on and put the seam or the seal plate back on, and that's it pretty much for the whole car. But I do think there's some pieces, I'm pretty positive there's some pieces missing for right here, just because this isn't supposed to be flopping around. Like there's a piece that sits right in here, and also a piece I think for the A-pillar. I'm not real positive. I'll just have to look into that and see if there's anything missing. More than likely there could be just like a little trim piece like how it is on the dash. I don't really know, but let's throw this thing on. All right, so I got the kick panel back on and the seal plate, so that's all done. And then I tape the button down just so I don't break it off when I close the door for right now until I trim it. But yeah, all that stuff's done. Just got to trim those a little bit just because of those Lamborghini door hinges, and then trim also, like I said, these pieces right here, and that's it for the interior. So I'm just waiting now on that transmission piece, and we'll be able to drive her. All right, everybody, so here's the original part for the transmission that was screwed up. The threads on the inside for the flare were stripped out, and it's kind of made it so it swelled on each side. And I had to go to the transmission shop, a local transmission shop up here, and they had one that'll work. So now I just gotta put it on, tighten it up a little bit, and then just use the jam nut and lock it in, and then I'll just hook up the transmission lines, and we should be good to go for a test drive. So I'll slide it underneath the car and get that hooked on, and then I'll start it up, check it, make sure the the transmission fluid's not low. Then we'll throw you in the car, go for a test drive. And all right, so I'm gonna slide up underneath there, like I said, and put this new fitting in for the transmission, the 90-degree angle. Sucks I don't have a lift, but I'll have to do. So I gotta put it in right there. So there's hardly any room, but that's how it is. Pulled it out onto the gravel out there, but I do not see any leaks. I think we're golden. So I'll just take her for a test drive early in the morning tomorrow, and then tune the carburetor, check the timing, recheck everything, make sure everything's good. Her off. All right, everybody, so it's finally time to test drive the 65 Mustang. Transmission leaks are gone, so let's fire this thing up. take her for a test drive. Heck yeah. Everybody, got back from the test drive a little bit ago, and as you can hear in the video, the front end was making a little bit of noise. You can hear the tires squealing. So when I got back, I jacked it up, checked the front end, and the tie rod ends are shot. Same with the idler arm. So I gotta get a hold of the customer and tell them that we need to replace those, and then we'll take it down to the local alignment shop here and get it aligned. And then I do need to fine tune the carburetor just a tiny bit more, and then same with the little relay box for the electric fan. You can adjust it, so I need to adjust that, bring the temperature down a little bit, that way it comes on sooner and it starts to cool the engine a little bit sooner than what it's doing right now. But everything else is completely wrapped up. The interior is done. Like I said, seat belts are done finally. The air conditioning's done. I trimmed those little pieces over in the corner for the A-pillar, so that's finished on the car. The last thing is just the front suspension, and then just tuning the carburetor a little bit more and bringing down that temperature. So if you guys like today's video, hit that like and subscribe button, also the notification bell, that way you guys can stay notified on the other projects here at the shop, like the 50 Merc, the 56, the 67, and also the Fox body, and then the 79 that's sitting outside. Thanks for watching. Later.